Hello, everyone. Welcome to the surprise show. Um, See the title there. It says 4-year-old racing recap. I actually was working a bunch of numbers the last couple days and some eye-opening numbers actually, and shared them with a couple people and got to talk about some of the data that was in. But um, the 4-year-old part was a little bit concerning. 'Cause I know that we talked about this the last couple of weeks about possibly letting stables breed 3-year-old foals to help out with the 4-year-old campaign. And there's a lot of opinions both ways on that, and I appreciate everybody's opinion. Um, so it kind of led me to look at a little bit more, some of the data a little bit more in detail. And I mean, it's just the numbers just aren't good enough for where we need to take this game. And I know we've been working on it for the last few seasons, but I didn't realize some of it was this poor. Now, some of it could be, well, I know some of it is definitely on me because some of it has to do with the race schedule itself. But there's also a large chunk of this on the community as far as how they race their horses or they retire them or what have you. So we're just going to dive right in on some shocking numbers for 4-year-olds. I figured I'd share them with you since I have them, so you know where I'm coming from when I talk about the need for a stronger 4-year-old um, campaign overall, because there's plenty of races to run. There's plenty of race purses to win. Horses can have a longer career. So anyway, let's just jump right into it. So um, there's by this time in the season, talking about today, active horses, there's roughly, um, you know, not roughly, there is 1,428, active 4-year-old horses. They're not retired. They're in your stable. They can race. All you have to do is enter them. Now that number obviously is that's half of the 2-year-olds and less than the 3-year-olds. So we have 1,428 horses that can race. Um, and see here, 4-year-old horses by win count of the 1,482 active horses. Okay, we have 480 horses that have never even raced. I mean, they're 4 years old. They have yet to even race, and they're about to turn 5. So this isn't an issue for, let's say, camping on these horses for the eliminator or sitting on them for any specific purpose for racing. Literally in a few weeks, they'll be 5 years old. They've been sitting the entire time. So 480 of the 1,482 haven't raced one time. I don't know why, but that number was shocking to me. We have 926 horses that have no wins. Okay, and I want you to think. I want you to remember that number, because I'm going to show you some race data, and that's a shocking number. 926 4-year-olds have no wins. 480 have not run at all. These are active horses with active stables. Uh, Horses with one win. There's 190 horses with one win. 2 wins, 95 horses. 3 wins, 53 horses. 4 wins, 50 horses. 32 horses have 5 wins. 6 wins, 25 horses. 7 wins, 18 horses. 8 wins, 15 horses. 9 wins, 6 horses. Horses with more than 10 wins, there's 20 of them. So to recap that, you see it? You see it there? Shocking numbers, shocking. So let's go into some of the race data. Now, this is where I have to take part of the blame and the responsibility on this, because and this is what I'm doing now. I'm going to try to set up the best possible 4-year-old card for this upcoming season, so that at the end of the season, we can't say that basically it was the race card, that it's just not the race one. We're going to do everything we possibly can to address this. So I can't tell you that if some of this, I can't tell you like what percentage of this is, our fault as far as, a poor race card versus people not entering. Okay. So in 5,000, a 5K open claiming, the lowest one you can possibly get with $1 entry, there was only 46 carded, 46 races carded. 12 of those run. So 26% of all carded races ran for 5K open. 10K open claiming, 39 recorded, only 8 ran. That's 21%. 15K open claiming, only 3 recorded, 0 run. 20K open claiming, 38 carded, 10 run. That's 26%. Now, D division, there was 19 carded, only 4 ran. C division, 70 carded, 38 ran. B division, 48 carded, 8 ran. A division, 44 carded, 3 run. Maiden, 48 of them. I heard people saying all the time, well, there's no 4-year-old maidens. No 4-year-old maiden. There was 48 of them carded, only 2 of them run. And that the last bit there, as far as the D division and the maiden, they're shocking numbers, right? Because you figure you had how many horses? We had let's go back maybe. Here we go. 926 horses have no wins. Yet only what is it? 2 of the maidens out of 48 were run. 480 horses didn't even run, and they're eligible for maidens as well. So that's 1,300 plus horses that could have run in a maiden. Okay, you can see that only 2 of the races have run. I that's like I said, that's just a shocking number, and it turns right into the D division as well. So we got to do something about this. And this is my I had the gut feeling about this. This is why I wanted to breed 3-year-old foals so that we could go into a nice solid 4-year-olds season and basically take this to the next level. At this point though, I'm still not ready to make that call because I believe that to do this fairly, I need to do a better job at the race card, and the folks that have been waiting for the 4-year-old campaign, people that have been sitting on these horses for the 4-year-olds, I need to give them a true shot at making this happen. And if I make a decision to allow for 3-year-old foals to breed, then all these people that maybe have been setting up their stable for 4-year-old racing, that kind of really um it kind of hurts them, or I don't feel that it's doing right by them. So at this point, I'm still going to hold to how we're currently doing, which is you breeding 2-year-olds and 1-year-olds at this time of the season, not breeding 3-year-old foals. But you can see the issue. You can see exactly why this is basically in the forefront for me. It's fixing this 4-year-old racing campaign. So what I think we're going to do is I think we're just going to build a better race card, and we're going to put the ball in your hands as far as what you want to do. Do you want to dribble and play ball, or not? And that way everybody knows, now I'm giving everybody basically forewarning that 4 months from now, if we're running into the same situation and we're not making any progress on this, when I open it up for 3-year-old foals, it's not a surprise, right? It's not something that we did in the last minute, the last week, or whatever. We're giving everybody pretty much, we're giving pretty good notice here as far as what our intentions are. We want the community to self-correct this. We want to help it out by building the proper race card. But ultimately, if the community isn't able to help correct this, we will make the changes necessary to correct this. But we know we're going to give this a little time to cook. So those numbers are bad. I just wanted to share them with you because they were shocking to me. Now, obviously, our 2-year-old and 3-year-old is much different. The numbers are much better, across the board. And there's a lot of room from a race card standpoint to improve the racing here, in which we're working on right now for May. But the 4-year-old stuff, I just wanted to throw that out there and say, look, these numbers are just horrific, and they don't make me feel good. And really not that much more to say about that. I mean, there's reasons for this, right? People can say they're holding for breeding, they're holding for this, holding for that. I get it. You're free to do whatever you want to do with your horses. Everybody has their own action plan, and that's fair, right? But the racing has to be better. There's so much money that's available there in the divisions alone that people just aren't running. Because I know we talked about this a couple weeks ago when people were talking about maybe different reasons why people don't run in divisions, mainly because of the wins or stakes horses running in there. But as you can see, none of that is happening. That's not the reason. Maybe people aren't entering because they think that's happening, but I'm showing you right now that that's not what's happening. There should be no fear of stakes horses or any of that kind of stuff, because that's not what's making D divisions not run. Right. So, because we ran some numbers for 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, I can share them as well, but I won't do that now. The 4-year-olds, and there's a lot of data that will See, I got a question. Oh, Bill, what's up, Bill? Turkey's watching. The key is find out why 900 or 400 haven't. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I have no idea. The key is to find out why 900 of the 1400 have never raced. That's a good question. I don't know if maybe it's a few stables that hold a lot that they haven't raced. I know, like for instance, Sweet Stables hasn't been around that much. He's still here, but he's been pretty busy with personal stuff. And I know he has a lot of 4-year-olds. That could be part of the issue. So it all adds up, right? Um, but it's still there's over 1,400 total horses. We shouldn't have an issue with these numbers. But that's a great point, Burke. I would love to know the answer to that. I guess I could dig a little deeper on the server to find out, who owns those horses, the 900, like what stables they belong to. I probably could do that as a next step. So, yeah, good point. Um, and it's if you look at if you look at the data, it kind of suggests that the D division, C division is very popular, 2-year-old and 3-year-old, but the win count may be a little bit short. Like for example, a D division runner is 0 to 2 wins. Well, if you break your maiden, you've already used up one of the wins for the D division. So there's an argument that can be made that the D division needs to be stretched to 3 wins and so on. And we would go right down the line. So, maybe D division is 3 wins, maybe C division is 5 wins or 6 wins or something like that. And I think you can actually grab more of the horse pool. It also gives you more time to race in that division. You can win more purse money, maybe even be a little more profitable working through the conditions. And that may be meaningless for some of the guys that, want to go to maiden and then go right to stakes or whatever it is. Um, but for the people that want to race up the ladder and race the condition book, it may give you a little bit more flexibility, um, racing through the divisions. Because what happens is if it's short and you run through the divisions, then you run into B division, A division, you just don't have that many horses in the pool as a 2-year-old to help fill a race. So then what's your choice? You either have to, if the race doesn't fill, you have to run up into stakes, and maybe you're not ready for stakes, or you have to drop down into claimers. So, I think that maybe widening the win amount may help out grab more horses and give a little bit more of a longer racing career and see how that impact. Says it can be they're being held for breeding because they can breed right away at 4-year-old. Yes, you're that is true, but we're 3 months into the 4-year-old season. If they were gonna be holding for breeding, wouldn't they've already retired the horse? I mean, these are active horses that aren't even they're not retired for breeding. So, I mean, I get your point, but I don't know that at this point in the season if those if that data, um, points to that. Now, if it was the first month, then maybe I could see that. And thanks for participating, Burke, Bill. Um, but I can't. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't put my finger on it. Why at this stage, almost 4 months in, that they're still sitting there. So, um, just interesting. Just interesting numbers. Now, a lot of horses that have more wins than this, they're already retired. They retired them early or at some point in time, gave up on the horse and retired horses. So this is just an active horse count that's in the our active win count by horses. I just looked at my stable. Currently, I have only 2 4-year-olds as I've revamped my stable and got rid of all non-performers, either breeding, shed, or retired permanently. Right. But then we'd have to figure out though, Bill, what makes you say, I mean, I'm giving you the race totals right here. What makes you say that, oh, I'm not saying that you don't know what you're talking about because clearly you do, but I'm just saying, I'm just throwing this out there as a counterpoint would be, how do you know it's a non-performer? If you look at these numbers here, right? Barely any races run. I mean, how many 4-year-olds are really getting a true test to perform when the race is just, when we're just not getting the entries to run them, right? I mean, if it's kind of a quick trigger kind of things like, well, run one race, the horse didn't perform well, so it must not be any good, and it's retired. So I would say, I'm going to build a better card. Number one, I've already started working on that. I know I say that every season, but this time I truly believe I'm going to get this done because I keep making progress, progress, progress. But this one, I believe we're basically cutting out the fat here. Okay, all these races that don't run. I mean, I can schedule 100 A divisions. It doesn't matter. They're not going to run. So you don't need to schedule, two of them a day. So you have to, we're going to be using the actual data that we've been accumulating over the last, 3 months, 6 months, whatever it may be, and build a card around that. So I'm going to do the best I possibly can, and hopefully you guys will see that your horse that maybe, I mean, think about it. If you had a 2-year old that you didn't think was good enough for C division as a 2-year old, I guarantee you is good enough to run C division as a 4-year-old. It's just the way it is. Because the horses that were good enough at as a C division as a 2-year-old have moved on past that. They've cleared that out. So whatever's left in the pool has to be, where are you at as far as class? You know what I mean? Are you on par there? Like, so I guarantee you that we're not utilizing the divisions good enough, let alone dropping into claimers, is what I'm saying. So anyway, that's that. Um, so the last, I mean, basically since April 1st, I've been just diving into data. I've been working on this race card nonstop. I hope to have it launched by April 15th, uh, for May, June, July, and August. And I should be able to get that done based on everything that I'm doing right now. So I have a whole new process that I put together for uploading the race card and for automation. This is our first time using it, so I'm loving it so far. And you know it's making it a lot easier to make race adjustments or build races for an automation. What's up, Pat? Pat's in the house. Hey guys, I was away for a bit, but I have 16 4-year olds I want to run, but not enough to enter. You mean not enough, Pat? There's not enough people to enter with you to close a race out, right? No entries, you know. Um, and I think that you're not alone. But as you can see, the races are there, right? I mean, they're there, they're carded. I am going to card some more C divisions. I noticed that there's not any more C divisions posted, so I'm going to put some in today for the 4-year-olds, to the end of the month. So Pat says, yeah, so exactly. So he has 16 4-year-olds he wants to run, but either he enters and the race gets refunded, whatever it may be. But I just don't understand that issue when considering there's 1,400 4-year-olds out there. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe Poncho has 800 of them. I have no idea. I'd have to figure that out. Let's see. While I'm on here, I was going to show something, but you know what? I'll just do that on another video. I was going to do a quick snapshot on a couple things. But yeah, man, that's it. I wasn't really Papa John. John says he's a new stable 4-year-old. He'll have 4-year-olds next season. Yeah, that's great, man. Just don't give up fast on them. Obviously, you're gonna need some to breed. You know what I mean? Being a new stable, you're gonna be tempted to use some of your mares and your sires. That's normal. But I would give these borderline 4-year-olds a shot. Maiden, D division, C division. There's purses to be won here. There's no reason why we can't fill a ton of races. So I'm really, 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 or a long-term goal for us has been to really open up that 4 to 7-year-old racing. And, you know, regardless of what people, people have opinions and based off experience, whatever it may be, but the 4 to 7-year-old, they all have their own issues. They all have their own wear and tear. They all have, but they're there. As of right now, nothing new is coming in to disrupt that balance. And should race and try to have some fun with it. Um, he said he got Bay breeders now. Nice. Congrats. I wish you do very well, John. It's Argo, right? So, or is it Panhandle? I never can remember. I'm sorry, Papa John. Which one is it, Panhandle or Argo? Panhandle, I think. But the 4-year-olds, what we're gonna do also maybe help out some of this is There we go. So that was right the first time. I can tell by the maple leaves. The other pitch you have is the blue one. The so someone had mentioned the other day, I think it was Chrisman. Chrisman said, um, Argos, front Argos. Is that a football team? Argonauts or Argos? Canadian football? Chrisman had mentioned that it may be a good idea to. We have the Santa Anita Derby series. Look, that's the other thing. Like a lot of these, I'd have to take a look at this, but I think there's probably a good chunk of these horses that are running in the Santa Anita Derby series, right? Well, then that can't be true either because that's under 99. Anyhow, one of the ideas for the 4-year-olds was that maybe instead of having the 3 and 4-year-olds running together in a Santa Anita Derby series to break those out. So I think we're going to do that. So I think in the new season, you're going to see the Santa Anita Derby series is going to be for 2-year-olds by itself, 3-year-olds will run by itself, and 4-year-olds will run by itself. And historically, they've been for horses that are rated 99 or less. We had the Old Town series for 5-year-olds, which seems to run and be popular. So we're going to run the Old Town series again for 5-year-olds only. And obviously all the other series that are popular will continue to run. Superstar Sprint. You got the Futurity stuff. I'm sure there's other ones that I'm missing, but we have these series that will run. But I think we're going to break out and make sure the 4-year-olds, run, by themselves or 4 and up anyway. And another side note to that would be the we may change the series so that we have 2 sets. So basically, we may run a series for the first 2 months of the season, and then the series for the last 2 months of the season, instead of running one series for all 4 months. So I think it gets a little bit old. You get horses that drop out. And I think that if we, make it, half of the season, and then there's a final and all that kind of good stuff, and then it kind of resets, and we run it again for the next 2 months. I think it kind of keeps things fresh and gives new horses a shot. So we're gonna try to work that in the season and see how that goes. That would be the first time doing that. And for anybody that's watching that isn't familiar with our Eliminator tournament, the Eliminator tournament is the largest virtual horse racing tournament in the world. That's not even a joke. There's we run it in the first week of the season. There's a 2-year-old eliminator, a 3-year-old eliminator, and a 4-year-old eliminator. And you'll see things posted on the site soon about this stuff. But the 2-year-old eliminator and the 3-year-old eliminator are for horses that are for unraced. They cannot be raced. Okay. New stables make this mistake all the time. And partially it's my fault because it allows them to enter. But the bottom line is the 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds need to be unraced. Not with a win, literally unraced. Okay. 4-year-olds are allowed to have 1 win. So it's non-winners of 2 or maidens for 4-year-olds. So it's unraced, maidens, or non-winners of 2 for 4-year-olds. It's a large tournament. There will be hundreds. There's probably going to be close to 600 horses entered in the tournament. Somewhere around 200 for each age group. It's survive in advance. You run heats. You might see 20 to 30 heats in the first night for the 2-year-olds. Top 4 horses advance to the next round. It's survive in advance. It's not even really about winning. You're just trying to get to the next round, to the next round, to the next round until you get to the final. That's really when it gets to. Seen horses many times finish fourth, win the final. You're good enough to be there. So the eliminator does creep up quick. Some people will breed yearlings for the 2-year-olds. Some will wait for the first week of the season. But normally, the 2-year-olds will run last. So we give you a little bit of time to breed. So you have about a week into the season for your 2-year-olds. But the 3-year-old eliminator and the 4-year-old eliminator will run pretty quickly right into the new season, which is only 25, 24 days away. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you get where I'm coming from. I don't like the numbers, and I want to do what I can to help the numbers out. The horses are there. We have the pool of horses. We just got to do a better job running them. I'll do another video. I'm gonna do another video. It's not gonna be a live feed though. It's gonna be a video on just touching base on little special spots on the site that maybe some older stables or new stables aren't aware of. Because I hear every day, like I show them this. Oh, I never knew we had that. I never knew we had it. So I'm gonna show a couple things, and uh and I'm gonna make a video, and I'm gonna show just a few things. It take a couple minutes just to make sure people are aware that these things exist or don't forget about them. And other than that, guys, get ready for the virtual Preakness. We got a horse that's running for the Triple Crown, right? Gold Merchant. You got a bunch of stakes races. You got the BC Championships coming up, like real quick. I think that's like in 10 days. All the crown jewels on the site and World Stakes Day and a bunch of other good stuff as far as season championships. Bill says, when will you be opening up those races for the Eliminator? So the races won't open up for the Eliminator until the new card is posted. Like I said, I think I'm going to be posting it sometime around April 15th. So after April 15th, the races for May will be open for entry. So about 9 days or so. If there's no issues. I think the race cards will load around April 15th, and then I may take a few day cleanup for some BC stuff as far as the season 55. And yeah, everything should be good to go. Good question. Good question. And if we don't have any more questions here in the next minute, I'll probably just jump off and get back to work. But I just wanted to share that with you. And I'm going to card a few more C divisions for the rest of the season and I will double check on the maidens just to see if anybody wants to run some 4-year-olds and take advantage of that from here until April 30th or whatever. But anyhow, and also, if you're not on Discord, please join the Discord channel. You can find a link on the front page of the site under the social tab. And you're either an existing Discord member, or you're new. Choose which one you are. Join Discord and meet some of the guys, have some fun, learn some new things, maybe do some chat room racing. That's it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm out of here.